Start recording. Okay, we should be live. I'm gonna post the announcements. Hello. Do we have people?
Do we have signal?
Is there signal? How does this Twitch?
I just joined 10, ladies and gentlemen.
Official.
Welcome to the Resonance.
Official Resonite signal when?
Yes.
Yes, it's happening yesterday. Need to travel back in time. Okay. Posting announcements. Live stream, where's live streams? There we go. Posting live streams. There we go. And one more. Post. Okay. We should be live. All the announcements are out. Is the audio okay? Hello everyone. Oh my god, we got all the snippet. Hello Grand, hello Iceland. Island C? Iceland Twitch, J Biden. Hello. Welcome. I'm also gonna open my documents since I already see a snippet. So when ready. And we got typebox. Oh my god, we got the silly questions. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Resonance. I'm Froox, I'm here with Cyro. And in this you can pretty much ask anything you want about the Resonite. Make sure, for any questions, put a question mark, that way they kind of pop on the thing. If I grab the camera and show you, this is what you look like from our perspective, and you can see the questions. I'll put the camera way too low. The questions are popping up here, so we can kind of pick them nicely. Let me put the camera back where it was. So yeah, we've been using the Twitch Pro for a while, but yes. Welcome to Resonance. We might be going for an hour or two. Depends on how we're kind of feeling. And we also have a number of questions from Discord, so we're gonna go through those first. So we're gonna, wait for some of the Twitch questions to pool first. So with that, let's get started. I think we should be good. I don't know if I forget anything important.
No,
also, if you ask questions, we're good to go. We'll figure stuff on the way. So the first question from Discord is from Goldie Raccooni. They are asking, do you use linter for C#? If you do, which one? There's some in the solution, but I forget which ones. I don't know off the top of my head.
I'm not really sure. I literally just use whatever the language server says should be the format when I format the file.
We have some stuff set up, but for some of it, I know it's Prime has been setting some stuff up. So I would actually no. This is a good thing, because well, we can ask us anything about Resonite. For some questions, we might redirect you to some other ones, because Purple Prime is doing his on Tuesday, our team's doing on Wednesday, the moderation team do one that's 90 minutes before this one. So for this one, I would actually recommend ask Purple Prime. He's the one who set up a bunch of linting stuff on GitHub and so on. He's been working on that, so he can actually give you a better answer than we could. Next question, I'm also gonna duplicate it because it's so you can read it. Ooh, moving the camera accident. Missing is asking, any updates on Linux build? Have you tested if Steam recording picks up core Windows or record video process of starting Resonite and turned on Linux? It should be ready soon. It's pretty much nearly ready for the thing. We're just kind of polishing up a few things. So that thing's gonna get merged soon.
Yeah, I'm currently just fiddling with the audio system. It's a little bit more involved than I hoped it would be, but it's pretty freaking close. It almost all works.
Yeah. How a lot of things end up being. It's it seems simple, and then you get into it, you're oh, this is actually there's more. Yeah. That's programming in a nutshell. But it should be soonish.
Ain't that the truth?
For the Steam recording, like I don't really use that myself, so and I don't like using it, so I don't know if you messed with it or not yourself.
It should pick it up correctly. I haven't tested it explicitly, but like as long as it like attaches to the main window, it should work just fine. I mean, you can if you can manage to get it working in the current state that it's in, you could probably test it yourself too.
Yeah, I was kind of like pre-release. You can like test on your own too and see like how it works. Next questions also from Mintshock. Let's put this here. I'm gonna put this here so I can read it. Mintshock is asking, would it in theory be possible to have domains with a hub and spoke model or a centralized connection? This would likely be useful for something like concerts and stuff, having one lightweight domain and only a few users with the performer, and having the stream to multiple other domains with more attendees. Yeah, there's actually something we want to do, is like having sort of like stream-only sessions where you have like, limited number of people within like, the world, so like it doesn't get too overloaded. Like if you have like, concert or lecture or something, you don't want to have, thousands of people in that session because you can't. Just like, oh my god, thank you Nukikon for the raid. You can't like, have like that many people in the actual session, but you want that many people watching. So the core session, the main session, like, is essentially stream only. So like people, people can join, but they cannot interact with it. Like it's sort of like, read only, which means like the system also doesn't need to worry about like, two-way interactions. It's also only just receiving data, what's happening in the session. And then you can have your own, friend group session on top of that. And you can sort of like think of it as sort of like augmented reality session. So like, the whatever, like the concert, like, or performance, lecture, whatever it is, that's sort of like the base layer, and then like your session where you can see your friends and interact with them, that's sort of like the augmented reality. And within that augmented reality layer, you can, we can spawn things, you can like, pretty much do like whatever we want in normal session. It's not going to be visible to the performers, and it's not going to be visible to anybody in their own, session, who is also like watching the performance. But we could have like also add like, limited interaction methods. For example, like when you upload, maybe, that's something that gets transmitted to the main session, and then like, the more of the watch sessions, like, are uploading, maybe like, there's like a visual or something that goes on. So yes, that is one of the use cases for the domain system, that like, we have in mind, because I think that could be like really powerful for like, pretty much like you say, like performances, concerts, lectures, anything where, you have like something happening and like you want lots of people watching it, but you cannot have 1,000 people in one spot in one session. So this, I think, is a good way of like handling that kind of scenario. The next question is from Nuki Raccoon. With the recent shutdown of similar service Neos, would the effective loss of all data here, as well as the fact that shutting down service after people have paid to use it, is basically what Stop Killing Games is about? What is the plan for if Resonite ever has to shut down? Would you release source code so we can run it like Overte, which doesn't have that concern by design? Would we have time to get all assets of the server? Maybe some way to convert code into WebAssembly or something so they can run in Overte? So there's like multiple things in this one. One thing I'm going to mention, you can already download all of your data. With the Resonite install, there's a utility, and everything you have saved in your cloud, you can download it, and store it like locally for backups, for future, whatever might happen. It's kind of hard like to answer like some of these things because like, we're not anywhere close of even thinking, about shutting down. Like that's like, would have to be some kind of catastrophic scenario. However, if that were like a possible threat, like I feel like we would like look, for ways how can we keep this running. you can already like, run a bit like, with the headlesses where you can like host things. So like we already have that sort of as part of the architecture. And I think we would probably like, just put a little more work into making sure that like it can kind of remain as community run. You could like, keep hosting it like on your own and maybe keep it going. But before we would even get to that point, like we will definitely look for ways to like, keep the project going without having to like actually shut down. So there would be like, a number of steps that would happen before that, but if it came to something like that, like I would like, I hate like losing stuff, like, and I hate people like losing their own stuff. So we definitely do something to make sure like you can keep like your stuff like running. It would definitely not be converting code to WebAssembly because like that's near impossible in terms of complexity, and especially like to run it in another engine, like you would still run it within the same engine. But like we would like look for ways to kind of keep things going, like, and keep them community hosted. I would not want, like, I would not want this to disappear. But we already, like, we fought hard to kind of keep, like, the community going. So I don't see us getting to that point right now. So hopefully we won't ever, like, get there. But yes, like, we would definitely consider, like, some stuff, like, to be able to keep running things locally. Next question. Oh, that's the same one. I think I wrote this one twice. The next question is from Papaltine. Papaltine is asking, I have tried loading into sessions that other users have hosted using unmigrated worlds from Neos. What? So the assets never properly load. I'm surprised it loads as much as it does. My question is, what do you think are main causes of bitrate in those worlds? I know Resonite can auto-update assets to the latest version, so why might these assets in particular have issues updating? I don't know what you mean by unmigrated worlds, because if they're not migrated, then how are you opening them? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, if the world exists here, then it's migrated.
Like, yeah, if it's like here, it's been migrated.
Like it doesn't just like take half the assets in the world and migrate them. If there was any reference to an asset URL in the world, it's gonna have been sucked over to Resonite.
Yeah, sure. Like when you migrate stuff, like it should import everything like that's contained there. So I'm sorry, I don't quite understand like what you're asking. You might need to like send a clarification. Let's see. Next question is also from Papaltine. I've been trying to better understand semantic difference among different sources. Source, changeable source, and reference source. The best mental model I currently have, I think about them as R source and all others values, like from C++, but doesn't really work because you can't write to sources, but not changeable sources. How would you describe difference among them? Do you have any analogies to other programming concepts, or is Froox engine just very different in this way? I think it's like its own thing, so like it might be kind of hard to like make analogies. Essentially, like whether you can write or not into source depends, you can write to sources that represent some kind of value or reference, because like, that's something you can implicitly write to. You can put like source to value, and it can be like, I want this value to be something different. Changeable source, it's sort of like more generalized, so it's like supports anything that essentially can trigger changes. But it doesn't like necessarily allow writing. So like that could be something like, like a component. Because the component, it can change, like, stuff when it changes, and you want the events to like trigger based on that, but you cannot write to it because like the component itself is not implicitly writable. And reference source, like, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just for references instead of like, values, because you have like values that's like, like floating point, like numbers, integers, vectors, matrices, strings, and so on. They're just sort of like atomic values, and you have like references that reference something else, but both of them, like, you can write to, because you can change either what the value is, or you can change what the references to. The changeable source, that's like, like I mentioned, it's sort of like we almost call it like superset, where like it triggers when something changes on your source, but it's not something that does all overwriting. But this kind of helps a bit. Next question from Triple Helix. With all the drama happening right now surrounding the Online Safety Act, how does AWS plan to address the issue? Are affecting things like Steam? Sorry, I missed affecting things like Steam, Discord, and many other online services in the UK, and there are talks of doing the same here in the US. It seems these laws aren't just targeting specifically not safe for content, but any adult content in general, things like drugs, drinking, violence, and users having the ability to interact with each other. And since there are plenty of things to drink and smoke, what? And since Resonite and the whole thing is social interaction and collaboration, you're not quite safe from fallout of all of this. I can say on this one is like, this is more like of a legal thing, and we've been kind of, evaluating this and discussing this, but right now we don't have like any announcements on the specific kind of handling. It also depends, on the specific laws, how they're implemented, how they apply to content, because like you're mentioning, stuff like drinking and smoking, and we haven't really seen it being applied like for stuff like that. There's another really stuff that happens like super commonly. We have like, guidelines against like certain content, so it's like, like it's a bit of like there's not like one, I feel like one simple answer to this. Like it's gonna depend, on the specific law, how it's implemented, what are the requirements, and like how this kind of affect different things. So, but we kind of like we always kind of treat these things like we sort of like figure out like internally like like what's the best way to handle it before like we make any announcements. Next question is from Missing. If Froox and Sarah have been told they are wonderful people that bring happiness and hope to many people around the globe today, also did you drink enough water today? Oh. So I had some water. Thank you. Do I have enough water?
Bottle right here.
I made tea and then I had some soda. I think the tea's closer to water than the soda is. But I only had like small cup of soda and I had like this much tea.
I think your water ratio checks out.
Yeah. Oh, next one is this one's very, very, very long. Probably not gonna read like the whole thing. Like it's a lot. I'm just gonna kind of skim through it. Choose asking, might we sometime in the future see a huge hub world like old platform like Rival or like for example like 2022? I definitely have experience having such space in social VR, the first landing spot for public interaction on platform, if you will, especially for a platform like this. So nice to find community basically immediately, especially a world that's designed to show you more places to go. I'm just gonna like I will probably go like keep the questions like maybe one paragraph. This is like a lot. Most platforms prefer. So there seems to be like asking about like like having like a hub world, and it's like something we do. So like we've been like kind of talking about like having like something like integrated to the home and like being able to get to the places. I feel like the main thing with those is like hosting sessions, because like the biggest problem with those is like everybody starts their own session of the hub, and then it's like it's not very community based. So like what I think it needs is just hosting some public sessions so people can actually meet and mingle there. And I don't know if it's like necessarily to like it needs to be the hub. It could be like like a bunch of other worlds, but like maybe it would definitely like be cool like having like official kind of like hubs and events and so on. But also like it kind of brings to the issue like how do how do you, like, you know, essentially moderate that session? Because if it's something that's running, you know, 24/7, you know, people might end up like messing it up. So like, you might need someone in there to kind of like, you know, make sure you don't go like too haywire. So it kind of creates like, you know, some problems like that. The other part is like, you know, like we found like people might be confused by those roles a bit, because like, you know, they will enter the hub and they'll be like, this is like empty, and people also don't want to like, you know, necessarily go, like when they want to explore worlds, like, you know, they like one of the reasons like, you know, like implemented like UI to actually browse worlds is because that seemed like what people generally kind of prefer, what they found like simpler to use. So it's one of those things where there's like certain concepts like in VR that I feel are cool, but they also, because they're different and they're new, they create like a barrier, and that can kind of hurt the overall like adoption. I've kind of run into like the number of different projects in the past, like where I would try something new and it was like, you know, cool and like cool way to use VR, but it would just confuse people because like they would have to learn it, and people really don't like learning new stuff. Like they're like using stuff that's familiar, and this creates like, you know, this kind of like back pressure, like, you know, almost like pressure against innovation and trying different things. So it can be challenging. I feel like eventually like we'll probably have like, you know, something like have like event sessions and other things, and that'd be kind of cool to bring that concept back. But like right now, I don't know. I don't have like the bandwidth for that. I got one more from Discord. I got out the name, but I think it was also from True. Sorry for yapping so much, but super question. I want to make a virtual makerspace in Resonite hosted on Headless for my local makerspace. I want to make a project bulletin board, meeting room, presentation space, etc. I want to build grids seamlessly integrated in the same space, but I don't want everyone to crash or lag based on what's going on in the build grid. Build bubble overlay world system allow me to run build grid a separate session and overlay into makerspace session, so if it crashes and gets laggy, it can just restart on its own. Get other people can leave build grid session, but everyone stays in makerspace. There'll be like the domain system, but it kind of depends on what causes the crash. So if it's something, you know, that's within, like, isolated within the session, then yeah, like, it will just be the particular session that goes, and it kind of restarts. But if it's something, you know, say, crashes the render, then the render, like, you know, will have to restart, which, like, you know, once splattening is done, like, we should have that ability implemented, you know, sometime shortly after. But if it's, like, you know, something that crashes the core engine, thank you for the Amidev tool, for the subscription. But yeah, since it's what was I gonna say? Since it's like if it's like, you know, engine crash, that just crashes the core engine, you know, the whole thing goes down. So it depends. Depends, like, you know, what it crashes. And usually, like, you know, approach is like eliminate as many crashes as possible. So with this is all the questions. From Discord, so we can start going through the Twitch ones. And first we actually got Granduke is back with this Schnoppet. And I do actually have a list of those, so I'm gonna pick one. Still want something lighter. So I'm actually gonna maybe this one. I have a list.
Oh boy.
I have a list. Okay, so I'm gonna pick this one. So one of my kind of snippets, one of the things, like, you know, that I run into. So with Resonite, like, you know, we like to do like very kind of open development. We post frequent devlogs, you know, like you get to see like stuff like very, very, very early on. You know, and like it's even tested, like, you know, during the development. And a lot of companies, they'll not do that, you know, they'll keep everything under the wraps until like everything's tested and ready. And generally, like, we try to, like, you know, we want to be more open with the development, like see, like, you know, peek under the hood. This is how stuff is made. This is how it kind of looks before, like, it normally becomes visible to other users. And generally, I feel like there's actually, like, it's mostly beneficial for us to do that. However, in some cases, like, we kind of run into, like, where people will kind of jump to conclusions. They'll, like, you know, start judging things, like, way too early in the development when things are, you know, not finished. And, you know, and they start, like, you know, panicking about some things and so on. And we've had it, like, you know, happen, like, where, for example, with the splitting, the very early versions, like, they used the JSON for, like, you know, the serialization, and it was pretty much done, you know, for a debugging reason. And, like, you know, to get, like, you know, bootstrap the initial implementation as fast as possible and start iterating on it. But people were like, you know, why is it using JSON? That's not good for performance, you know, and people started panicking, and I heard from, like, a number of, like, people that, like, you know, people are, like, getting concerned and so on, and it's just kind of like, things in development, like, you know, they'll graph and there'll be, like, weird stuff. The other part is, you know, we also had, like, you know, people, like, they would be, like, you know, watching, like, be like, oh, like when I make a video, they'll be like, oh, like, why is the, like, you know, frame rate so low, you know, and it's like literally I have, like, you know, a bunch of debugging stuff, there's a bunch of bugs happening, you know, there's, like, lots of stuff, but it can be hard because sometimes, you know, people will just kind of see something and just immediately jump into a conclusion. And it's kind of like, it gets a little bit hard to deal with, and kind of like, you know, and whenever that happens, I'm like, it kind of makes me not want to share, like, stuff like that's too early, because I'm like, you know, like, I get worried, like, you know, how will people react to this, like, because it is, you know, unfinished. And I'm worried, like, you know, will people, like, jump to conclusions? Will they, like, you know, panic? Will they, like, you know, start spreading, like, rumors about it? Because, like, because usually during development, things are gonna be in rough state before they get polished. So that's, like, one of those things. And even despite that, like, it was still kind of keep, like, publishing things early and so on, but it makes me kind of understand, like, you know, why the bigger companies don't do it, because, like, I feel with a lot of companies, like, you know, once that happens, if it happens once, the company will just, like, you know, they get spooked and they just don't do it again, because, like, they want, like, you know, they want to eliminate every single, oh, thank you, Draconis, for a subscription, because the company will want to eliminate, you know, every single possibility of, like, negative, like, perception. So, like, if they see it happen once, they'll just be like, you know, we're not doing that ever again. And that's why I feel that's, like, one of the reasons why you don't see a lot of companies do it. And with us, you know, I want us to be different. Like, I want to look, like, you know, way things be like, yes, there's some, like, negatives with that. But also, like, you know, we have the positives of, like, you know, being transparent with the development. I feel that kind of helps, like, you know, generally build, like, you know, trust in the community, build, like, you know, more transparency for the development process, and get a lot of, like, very early feedback from everyone, which helps, like, with the iteration process. So that's kind of like my main thing is, you know, just be careful about, like, especially when it's development stuff, be careful about, like, you know, jumping to conclusions, like, you know, very early on. Usually things will be kind of in flux, things might look, like, weird during the early development. It's and, like, you know, like, it's like a thing, like, you know, if, like, if something is still there, for example, like some, like, major issue, and it's actually causing problems on release, you know, that's a different thing. But if it's, like, something that happens during the development, then you want to, like, you know, give it, like, more of, like, not grain of salt, but, like, give more benefit of a doubt, essentially, during that phase. So that's pretty much my snippet for today.
Just that the main developer knows what he's doing most of the time.
Let us cook on things.
Let us cook, chat.
Do you have any snippet yourself?
Oh dear, Froox, I'm so sorry to say. I mean, no offense by this, but my schnoppet's been the audio system.
Oh no.
The part that actually connects the audio coming out of Resonite to your speakers is older and kind of scruggly. So it's a little bit interesting to work with.
Thank you. Oh, I don't even know how to read the name. U1F98A. Thank you for the subscription.
I like your hex code, pal.
That's not a hex code. Is that a hex code?
U1F98A.
Is that a unique? That's too many bytes for Unicode.
U would be too far, yeah.
Yeah, U is too far, unless it's like Unicode, but then it's too many.
What are you, base 64
Oh my god, thank you, Noble Rain, for this. Oh, we're getting all the subscription, thank you. Oh my god.
But yeah, the audio system has been a little scrungly. It's mostly like a combination of like it being an older part of the code, and also I'm not familiar with the SDL audio API fully yet. Like it should be pretty straightforward, but for some reason, whenever I like hit a lag spike, the audio just all stops forever. And I don't know why. I'm trying to figure out why. And so that's been my stop for like the past 3 days.
I mean, audio in general is like a bit painful. Like you have to like every time I work with it, it's like, you have to carefully you work on it to get things working. You have to spend a lot of time carefully balancing things, and you balance them so it works. And then you every time I felt I'm not, I don't want to touch it. If somebody wants a minor change, I'm unless I don't want you to upset the balance of it.
Yeah.
So every time I'm I have to work on it to do something, I'm oh my god, thank you, Jake. Thank you for the bits. Oh my god, we're getting so many today.
But yeah, no, aside from the issue with the audio not working though, the SDL audio system is actually pretty good. It even handles sample conversions for you, so you can open a device with that's supposed to accept short samples, and it will just auto convert floating point samples into the proper format for the device.
I mean, CS Core is meant to handle that too. Problem is that code makes Unity crack. So we had to make our own conversion for it, and maybe it would work with now that with the .9, but since it was done on Unity, we already have own conversion, so it's yeah.
Yeah, I saw. We actually do have our own resampling code.
Yeah. I'm kind of need it too, because we need internally for things. When we, for example, playing audio clip, that needs to get mixed at the actual audio system rate, so we need resampling anyways. But it's also bit conversion, because sometimes the audio device will, it'll be actually, it was kind of really weird, because CS Core will say, oh, this audio device, it supports, 2 channels at 48 kilohertz with 32 bits floating point samples. And you open it with that format, and the audio device oh my god, thank you, Yumi, for the cheer.
Thank you.
And then then you open the audio device, you say yeah, I want this format that you said that you support, and the audio device oh, actually, never mind, I support it only in this format. And that's what CS Core would be okay, I'm gonna insert conversion for that for. Oh my god!
Holy crap!
What's happening?
Holy shit!
I mean, dying. Hold on, I was too slow. Thank you, Beauty underscore. There's so many.
Holy crap!
There was so many confetti. Ooh, there was so many confetti.
Sheesh.
Oh, and I took photo by accident.
Oh my gosh, the whole stream's falling apart.
But
yeah, no, that's the nice thing about SDL is it doesn't really care what the device supports. It will just convert whatever samples you give it, because you designate the input format, and it'll just do it.
I mean, it's kind of most audio systems from what I found out. This is one of their functionalities. It's just Unity doesn't really like that code.
Yeah.
It just crashes. So that's why we had to write our own.
At least SDL seems to be one of the ones that actually works.
I think I don't think it's actually CS Core thing, because CS Core it also works. It's just Unity is allergic to just some code.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so that's why I'm this is it's usually it's functional to find in those audio engines. That's one of the purposes is they kind of abstract you away from that, but because we're running code within Unity, and it doesn't like stuff.
I don't know if, I mean, I can also, I won't linger on this question for too long, but I can also I don't know if I can entirely blame Unity because CS Core's internals are like, yes, a function call that takes a pointer that dereferences like a pointer to a pointer that is like an int pointer to another like structure that they've offset by 5 for no reason.
I mean,
that's like invisible and like
it's badly written, but like it should still work. Like I think it's like Unity just in general, it doesn't like calling to some like system like COM devices and so on. Like it just doesn't work with that. I'm not saying like it's well written in CS Core, but like the way the code is like written is like one thing, and the way like if it supports like some core things, that's like a separate.
Well, like the pointer that dereferences like a pointer to a void star to an int pointer to like a function call that like returns.
Oh my god!
That returns like an opaque structure pointer that they've offset by like 17 for no reason.
I mean, that's the thing is. It's bad, but it's bad for humans because, like, for humans it's unreadable. But like, for the actual runtime, like, it technically works. It's awfully written, but it works.
It makes me cry.
It's bad.
Sure, that can be my schnoppet. CS Core is my schnoppet.
Yes, I mean that's also my schnoppet. The QT subscribed most recently.
But yeah, Jesus Christ. Oh my god, there's so many. There's so many.
I'm gonna keep missing it. What is happening? Why is there so many today? I mean, there we go.
Jack, you gotta make it so that, like, if people spam the thing in quick succession, like, the amount of confetti is, like, quadratically proportional to how many...
Oh my god, we'll die. Do you know how fast that goes? Thank you, God, for the subscriptions.
Okay,
you work for it. Oh my god, you work for Resonite.
We'll do a factorial of how many things are sent in a row.
I have like a thing that like that just moves the camera because there's so many. There's so
much support.
So much. You know what? I'm gonna cheat. Typongs, all these subscriptions, thank you so much. I didn't expect like this money today, but
thank you.
I was
They're giving their energy for the spirit bomb.
Oh my god. The thing is I was actually like even almost like cancelled it today because I wasn't feeling so good, and now like all these subscriptions, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. We do not regret not canceling anymore.
Yes. Thank you. That's my Typox.
Yes.
I need to get more. I have a list for those too, but I need to also write more.
But
today I'm gonna cheat.
My Typox, I guess I could say, is also related to the audio system because I just like STL as like an API. It's just a nice.
Oh my god!
Oh my gosh! Thank you, Jack. So many bits.
Actually, I have a thing, Jack. We need. Oh my god! The Kiyomi Dev too. We need like a. We need a thing that allows us to move where the confetti happens, so we can move the confetti like somewhere in frame.
Yes.
Feature. Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god. It's so many.
So much.
It's so many. Thank you.
We need to turn the sticky notes into dollars.
Oh my god. What is today's stream is? Oh, and I messed up the camera.
Jeepers.
Wait, I have a. What if I just do this? I'm just gonna put one. I'm gonna put another one. Actually, let me turn the audio off.
Turn off all the effects on this one.
Yeah, no. I want the effects. I want the. Like I just want okay, I'm gonna put it here. It's right below us. So like if this happens again, like we'll get showered in confetti. There we go. See, it works.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
It's gonna happen like twice now.
Yeah. I mean, it's an incentive. That we already we got like way more than like I would expect us to get, but more incentive.
Thank you. Anyways, my Typonks is the SDL API. I just kind of like it. It's a good, like, common interface. You keep taking pictures.
Yeah, it happens whenever I grab it. Sorry.
It's just a good common cross-platform interface that's well written and it's fast, and also I'm pretty sure that it's, if I'm not mistaken, is it what I think it is? Click. And it's distributed under the zlib license, which is basically like you can like do almost whatever you want with it. So it's cool.
This is very neat. I like this like abstracting the clipboard too, so like we'll actually have like proper clipboard support on different platforms, because it's been like one of the things that's been hard to find is like multi-platform library.
It's just good.
Yeah, thank you for Dev tool for the bits.
So many bits, 1 cent. Thank you.
We're gonna leave it at 1 bit for now.
Yeah.
Grandk is asking, if you could be a bird, which bird would you be and why? I'm happy as a space fox sort of thing.
If I had to be a bird, I would probably choose either a raven or I think it's like a starling or whatever. Because both of those birds have extremely talented noise replication abilities. Like the starling in particular, I'm pretty sure, is like if you give it noise, like if you've seen the video recently of like I stored a picture in a bird,
store a PNG on a bird.
I want to be that bird because that's really cool that it can just do that. Like it
want
can
to be data
mimic
storage.
it can mimic the reverb of a room. Like it's crazy.
Oh my god. Also, ravens are smart, like really smart birds, like really cool. This is like, I remember there was like a video of like raven, like, just like taking like a piece of like something flat and just, oh my god, thank you. And they would like, put it on the roof and it was like snowy and it would like just slide down and bring it back and slide down, and like it was one of the few like cases of like, in animal kingdom other than humans of like, playing.
Yeah, crows have they have a concept of having fun, or ravens. I mean, crows and ravens, both of them honestly,
are like pretty smart. Like,
yeah,
it's also Kia parrots.
Yeah.
Kia parrots are like, from what I understand, like they're very smart. It's very annoying to people because they won't like get into everything, but also very smart.
Yes, but yeah, I like those birds because they have like a concept of having fun, and like they have they will like mourn their dead as well, so they have like a concept of loss. And I've also seen them have casual understanding of like water displacement, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Like they put rocks in like a water tank to make the water get high enough so they could fetch the food out of it.
Oh my god, thank you, Elephant. Oh my god, oh my god.
Earn so much money.
So many. All the plan work. Thank you, Jack the Fox Otter, and thank you, Elephant. Elephantinitis?
Elephantinitis.
Thank you.
That's a good username. Good job.
Thank you.
Elephantinitis. That's a really good username, actually. You know what? You win the award of best username of the day.
Yes, you win the best username. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, there's like a thing. It's like you could also like they have like really good memory, because there's like those stories of people like who like they would like feed like a raven or a crow. They would give them like like walnuts or something, and they would befriend them, and then like the raven or the crow like they would keep bringing them like shiny things like gifts.
Oh,
and it's like cute. Super cool and sweet. Those birds are cool.
I love intelligent animals. They're so cool.
Yes. Like they're really good problem solvers too.
It's some like I know they're like still pretty far from it, but sometimes like it just seems like they're not that far away from just being able to understand us fully.
Yeah. I feel like they do have like they have like a decent like understanding of some things. Like to me,
Yeah.
like it feels like, you know, if things went differently, or like if all of us, like, you know, if humans just disappear, like there's like, you know, some species where I'm like, they have like they have a decent chance of like, you know, becoming the next, like, you know, society species, level species, like the way we are.
Yeah, like crows and dolphins,
Crows.
especially dolphins.
Dolphins, octopi too, like
Yeah, octopi are really
octopi are smart.
Octopi can be really sweet from what I hear as well. Very, very loving creatures.
They'll form the society underwater.
Yes, the Octopus Society.
The only thing like with underwater is like they can't discover stuff like fire.
Yeah,
which is like one of the things that I know like led like human like development early on. So it's kind of curious like how that would like work, but I know like there's been like examples where they've like seen like, you know, they can use tools and stuff, like sort of pretty smart. Oh my god, thank you.
Jesus.
Oh my god, what is it?
There's so much. Thank you for so many tier 1 subs. Holy shit.
Thank you so much, Kyubi, and I didn't even catch the first one. It's like, what is it? An Angel Boy, thank you.
So many.
Thank you. There's so many.
They're just trolling us now.
It is trolling us, but I have to pay for it. So it's like, you know, like it's
you're paying to troll us.
Paying to troll us. Actually, I don't know if my frame rate goes down or if it's just the particles when it goes up.
No, I think it's the particles because this map is like mostly mesh collider.
Asynchronous. Oh my god, like this is kind of tangent, but like, you know, like I was gonna like on the split ending because the particles on split ending are insane. Like we're in like a test, like it would just like be like in one of the worlds with like lots of mesh colliders and just around 30,000 particles, and it just runs flawlessly. It's like super smooth, and I'm like, it's insane. Like some things like Beppu and particle systems, they benefit like hugely.
Yeah, it is absolute like I like it's so crazy to me because, you know, people I sometimes hear people say like, oh, Resonite's so unoptimized, it doesn't run well, they need to optimize the code. But like we just got free performance, like we didn't even optimize anything.
I mean, you know, this is the thing. I like to say I've been like writing a lot of the code, not for the runtime we have at the time, but for the runtime we wanted to have. Oh my god, oh my god.
Glitch is so much money.
Thank you. How many is that?
Jesus! Holy shit.
Remember, cuties.
Oh my god.
Oh my... Thank you, BDScore glitch.
Thank you.
There's so much. It's way too much. Oh my god. Well, at least we get to, you know, get to see us showered in the particles now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's crazy.
But like, yeah, like a lot of the code, like, is literally written to, like, you know, utilize the modern features of, like, you know, the modern .NET runtimes and the modern approaches. Like, even, for example, our loading system, because like people kept saying, you know, like, oh, like just make it multi-threaded, and I'm like, yeah, it's multi-threaded. And one of the things that kind of keeps it slowing down is like the runtime, because like it doesn't do like, because like when you do multi-threading, it actually puts a lot of stress on the runtime, and like it starts making it essentially choke up. And that's, you know, one of the reasons, like when you're loading, like it's gonna it feels bad. Thank you, Yamida too. But you know, now with like the splitting, everything loads super fast, and it's because, and like there have been no changes to that code. Like it's literally the same code, it's just with a different runtime, and like, well, actually there's a part of like for the integration part that actually helps a bit too, but other than that, like, you know, the actual most of the loading code is the same, and it's just like, you know, it kind of lets like the .NET 9 it really lets that code, like, you know, shine and like not kind of be constrained by the runtime. And there's also like, you know, more approaches like that we'll be able to use that like we couldn't use because they were not like available at all for all the times. Like for some things, oh my god, thank you. There's so many approaches. Like for example, spans. Spans are like super fast, but like on the older times, they're like not as fast as they're like on the newer times. So like they kind of like you can install them as a package for the older time, like for Mono and so on. But like they don't have the Jute compiler like support like directly. Which means like they're not as fast as they could be, but with the 9 like they're even way faster because it can like do so many optimizations on those.
Yeah, spans and stuff in like the new runtime are incentivized for like vectorization, so that means like the CPU can do like if you're just like adding a bunch of numbers up in like a span, for example, the CPU can be like, oh, this is like a span, I want to vectorize this, and so it can actually use special instructions in your CPU that will add like 4 or even up to 8 of those, or even 16 of those numbers at a time, at the same exact time. Not multi-core, on one core. It can do like up to 16 operations at the same exact instruction.
SMID. It's like single instruction, multiple data. Yeah, it's like, it lets, in short, it lets like a lot of the code kind of shine. I hope that answers your question about which bird we could be.
Yeah.
So next question is Jay Videns asking, have you seen any of the custom renders people have been making? I've seen like bits of the Godot one. I don't think I've seen any others. I had like somebody was like being like somebody make like a Quake like render. Oh my god! Thank you, BScore. Oh my god, even so more. Thank you. Thank you, B_.
I've seen someone do it where like they proxy it into Blender.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen that one too. Yeah, it's been kind of crazy what people have been doing with the split thinning, like, and like I've been kind of like thinking like once we're done with the split thinning, I would probably want to like. Oh my god! Thank you, Qualitorium.
Yeah, Qualitorium.
Thank you. We're not gonna get through any questions at this rate.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, people have been like crazy stuff, and like one thing I'm kind of thinking is like I don't have like specific plan like yet. Like I don't want to make like any promises, but like I've been thinking about like organizing sort of like more organized community effort like for the new render. I've been kind of like writing some things down for it, so there might be a thing that comes at some point. Definitely post split thinning. But I think it might be kind of cool, like like lean more like into like over the community and like make like more collective effort to help us like find a new render and like bringing to like what we need. So there might be some stuff coming with that like once the split thinning goes through. But it's been cool like seeing like what people do with it. Next question's from Kister Blades. Have you seen Abiotic Factor? I know we've bunkered down with splitting currently, but do you plan to play it? Curious on your thoughts. I've heard about it a bunch, like I've seen like some of the trailer. It looks like really cool. Like I know it's kind of like multiplayer kind of thing. I know some people have been playing it. I would maybe want to play it at some point. I don't know what state it's in. One thing I kind of get with some of the games is because sometimes I'm like really busy with the projects, so I don't have time, I don't have time to play something, and by the time like I'm done, everybody's moved on to a different thing. Like I've had it happen with the what was this called? The co-op multiplayer game. I'm completely blanking on the name. What was it called?
What does it have in it?
It's like co-op multiplayer like horror thing that's like procedurally generated. What was it called?
Repo?
No, that was something different.
I have no clue. There's a lot of co-op multiplayer shit.
There was like one that like was like a really big. What was it called?
Lethal Company?
Lethal Company, yes, that's the one. Yeah, so like this Lethal Company. So like I know like a lot of people were playing it, and everybody's like organizing groups, and I was like busy with stuff, and then like when I was like, okay, maybe this seems like interesting. Everybody's like already moved on to like something else, and I forget what was the like. I forget what the thing replaced it, but like, but it's kind of like what happens. This kind of what happens a lot. Like everybody's like, by the time I get into something, like everybody's already doing something different, or when I get into it, like everybody's already been through everything, and it's just it's kind of weird to play at that stage because everybody's like, oh look this, and like I don't get to discover anything, and it just kind of exists, and everybody does everything because they've already been through it, and I'm like, I'm just here. Generic is asking, Twitch should probably replicate it. Like, we've been using it for a while.
Yeah.
How long have we been gone? Maybe 3001. Are you doing okay, Froox? Kinda, yeah. Wow. Generic is, how does... Oh, wait, we have this one. Wait, did we answer this one? Oh, yeah, it was. Sorry. I'm getting brain mixed. How goes the Linux work, Cyro? We can talk about it, but
aside from my schnuppet with the audio, it's pretty good. You know, there's definitely like some hoops you got to jump through to make it work on Linux. I'm definitely doing. I'm definitely passing the launch arguments to the render a little bit strangely because I didn't want to like re-architect how the whole render management works, like what spawns the render process. So and then Froox tells me that I'm a dumb nominee. He doesn't tell me I'm a dumbass.
Well, I was more confused because there was like a difference that just suddenly happened that wasn't there before.
Oh yeah.
So I was a bit confused by that.
Yeah, I found that the trying to spawn the render after like going out of the Linux environment out into the Linux environment and then back into Proton like mangles half of the environment variables because like half of them are just strings that aren't supported in the format by like Bash or whatever. And so I have to like make the bootstrapper spawn the render because it was the original process that spawned, and so it has all the environment correct, and it's a bit of a merry-go-round to make it work on Linux, but it does work. The things we do.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna like be beneficial because like just having like the native Linux for the main process, and like then like the actual render like should give like a decent performance boost. Plus, make some things simpler where we can just be like yeah, we don't have to worry about this like working on the Proton.
Yeah, because Proton like .NET is a very complex like process with the JIT compiler and stuff. And there's a lot of points of failure where if the thing's not implemented exactly right, it's just gonna make it all explode under Proton if anything like weird changes.
Next question's from PD_. With the upcoming data model rework, how much do you think impact do you think it will have on modders interacting with things like iFields or sync refs? You'll probably have to like recompile and readjust the modes for it. Depending on the interaction, if you're just kind of like using the core things, like pretty much like everything should have like an equivalent you could map it to, because part of the data model rework is preserving the behaviors, because if we don't, then all the content breaks. So, but I don't think you will probably have to like adjust the mods, because like stuff will kind of move around. Some of the interfaces will change, like the way you access certain things will change. So it'll probably take some work, but I don't think there would be like too much that would like make the mods not upgradable. But it'll probably break like I feel like a good chunk of them, and require some adjustments. But I also don't think those adjustments are gonna be like super huge.
Yeah, I imagine the way that you actually set and retrieve data on the stuff will be very similar.
Yeah. Next question's from Ace on Twitch. Are you guys in the pre-release? We're not right now. I mean, one reason is we haven't merged the Linux support, so so we're still working on audio. So like you would have to be deaf and mute.
Yes, I am. Trust me when I say that I am like working constantly on trying to make the freaking audio work. I'm
Your
pushing hard.
your literal virtual existence depends on it.
It does. Like that's the thing. That's my motivation. If I don't do it, I can't play the game.
Yeah. That's good motivation. And next question's from Alex2PI. Will we have to scan our faces or provide government ID to be on the Resonite in the future? Don't know. Hopefully not.
Depends on how dystopian it gets.
Depends on things. Next question's from Grand UK. Could it be possible to stream slot transforms and components across session? For example, a concert where every slot under the stage on main instance is copied to every other instance to give impression performer in every word instead of just a video. I mean, we kind of talked about this one quite a bit with the previous question. That's pretty much, the domain system is going to let you stream some session and have like another session on top of it. So they would kind of take care of that. Next question's from Spoby or Spobe. World name. This world is called. I'm also gonna bring it out. Why is it not showing up? Oh, right, I'm on a boring page. It's called Zarniwoop's Sanctuary. Actually, hold on. Good word orb. Let me put that there. And it's backwards. I'm gonna just do this so I can read it for a sec. Also, I'm behind you. Ooh. 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 Okay, it's not Halloween yet.
Yeah, a couple more months for that, buddy.
Yes.
Spooksiest.
Spooksiest. Ace on Twitch is asking a question from my friend. What's the estimated ETA for splitting? I would say it feels like maybe 1 to 2 weeks. It depends like how many more issues are found and how quick it is to fix, the remaining ones. So,
yeah.
Depends. Yeah. I would say that, but things can happen.
When it's done.
When it's done. Nuki is asking, maybe for stop killing games, question asked by Nuki, what do we do if system shutdown? The main thing would be the server that connects players to sessions through the session browser and the inventory systems. Would be at least binary available if Verzo had to shut down and things change to let users decide their cloud provider for sessions and inventory. That's too specific, I don't know how exactly would handle it. It might be, something like you have your inventory stored locally, so you can, load it that way. For sessions, you can already kind of connect, if you have the direct IP, you can connect through that. So it depends. We haven't gotten that far yet, but we would definitely want to make sure you can keep going in some manner, but there's not a technical details for it like that. Oh. Angel was asking, how was Froox doing lately? You didn't sound healthy in your recent Gash and Split video. We are a bit worried. Love the video, by the way. Make sure you get a lot of rest after split inning. Yeah, it's been a lot. I'm pretty much been trying to get a split inning done as fast as I can, and it's kind of hard because there's a lot of things, and I'm just trying to get to the end of it as fast as I can, and it's kind of been displacing a lot of things, but I don't have time, I don't have even time to clean my room because it's just gonna all the work, and then I'm too dead to really do much. So I'm kind of hoping to get through it as fast as I can so I can start paying attention to other things too. Yesterday actually
yes.
I was I literally I was hungry and I was like, oh, I have one piece of bread left. So I ate that. I was like, I guess I need to order groceries now. So like, so it's been struggling a bit. But yeah, I hope to kind of get through it, and I kind of hope like we'll make changes so like we kind of don't end up like with these kind of situations again, like where things end up like turning into sort of like deadlines and things like end up like being way too much of a crunch.
Yeah, like super duper tight and hard deadlines are just a real killer for motivation.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of. I mean, the thing is like I don't even. The motivation's pretty much like gone for a while. It's just kind of like doing it like out of necessity, just powering through it.
Yeah,
And it's not pleasant, but it needs to be done.
it will be so worth it.
Yeah. Worth. Godly is asking, have you seen or done any performance comparisons between the fork of Beppu that design currently uses and the modern version of Beppu, with both on modern.NET version? Not necessarily within Resonite, seeing little particles associated with RTK particles and collisions enabled on the latest release, where the engine barely breaks a sweat, arises the question of just where the peak lies once Beppu is updated and can use the vector types. Exciting stuff. Yeah, I haven't like really looked into it like myself. Like I haven't really had the time. It's like one of those like kind of like once the main splitting is like merged, I'll poke around and see like where it's at. But I do think like there's gotta be probably like noticeable improvements still, because like even the original Beppu is versioned to be like heavily parallelized, but while back Beppu it updated like to .NET 5 at the time, and I was like I think .NET 9.
Yep.
In order to actually utilize a lot of the high performance mechanisms that are only available in the newer versions. So I imagine there's going to be like a lot of improvements even since then. And also like I've seen like some posts like where he like Norbert like he rewrote like some parts of it to like eliminate a lot of kind of performance bottlenecks and just make it perform even better. So I do feel it's gonna be like even better, because the version we have like it's a fork of the older pre.NET 5 version. And once they're able to like use the latest one, I think that's gonna be even bigger boost. It is very exciting. Like, Beppu's like very amazing. Like it's very impressive like piece of like software. And so like, one of those like really good showcases that like you can write really high performance code in C#.
Yeah, like C#, that shit's not slow anymore. Like that, it's so fast. You can write comparably fast code to like statically compiled languages like Rust or C++ or C even.
There's even like some tricks you can do with it, like it can do like just thanks to the JIT compiler and stuff. It's very cool.
Yeah.
There's also like another thing is because once the splitting is done, it's gonna be like the new baseline, but there's like still a bunch of stuff to do that's gonna help improve performance even further. Like stuff like we're gonna switch like to the math library, because right now all math operations like they convert to a double, do the math convert back.
Yeah,
and it's also adding a bunch, because the floating point version of the library, it doesn't exist in the version we use. And Mono, it's actually funny because Mono, they actually switched that like also, because the Mono, even the new versions of Mono, they had a library like that. Yeah. But also for a while, they would actually just be like, they would be converting to doubles internally and converting back. And at some point they got convinced, they were like, let's actually just do it in the floating point. And they found, that actually speeds stuff up, because non-modern CPUs doing the math in raw floating points rather than converting, it is faster, especially for game engine stuff. So we're able to switch to that. I think that that's gonna give some boost. We'll be able to switch to the vectors. That's gonna give another system numerics vectors. I feel that's gonna provide another boost. There's gonna be tuning for stuff. There's gonna be, I'm still gonna optimize some of the mechanisms. One of the things I think is also taking a bit of performance right now on the splitting is I still need to update the mechanism how the blend shapes are updated on the avatars, because right now during some changes, I had to kind of disable the system and kind of rework it a little bit, where when blend shapes are submitted, right now on a splitting, it'll submit all of them, all the time. So we have avatar that has, the hundreds of blend shapes, it's submitting and updating all of them. every time. But the system is actually just going to look at the ones that change unless submit those. And like I already have like bits for that in place, but I just need like a little bit of adjustment. So I think that also might give a bit of a boost. And that's like, we're going to be like future performance optimizations, like variable rate updates, the data model rework, adding more multi-threading for things. Actually, one of the things I've been kind of considering is because one of the things that's high on the list is the IK. And I think like one of the reasons to also like prioritize, like one of the arguments to prioritizing that one is because like we could actually write it with the modern approaches, and get some performance boost from that too, and just kind of write it like, but so there's still like, once the splitting is done, that's not like, that's the end of it. We might take like a pause, for things, but there's like a lot of room to grow.
Yeah.
And I mean a lot. So
there's like so much more optimization that we can do that's like in of itself its own like I would say in of itself all the optimizations we can do combined after we get the initial splitting done is like almost the same magnitude as like the splitting itself. Like there's just so much we can do. There's
a lot. It makes sense, like, one of the reasons like we're doing the splitting first is because like it essentially helps everything pretty much across the board. Like not everything gets the same boost. Like, some things like the particle systems, they get a huge boost. And there's also like the most recently implemented systems. Some get like, less of a boost, but overall everything kind of gets a boost. So that's like, one of the benefits, because like we do that one, and now everything got a boost. We have like a new baseline, but then we can optimize, the other systems. But also when we rework some of the systems, we can use more modern approaches that, we couldn't use before. So we could now be writing them against like a modern runtime rather than having to deal like, with mono. So it's one of the reasons like we wanted to do the splitting as the first thing, like as the first like big optimization. Like the data model rework, I kind of want to use like some mechanisms, so that for that.
We can also like, if we really wanted to, we also have the new like native memory API, which gives you functions to like allocate aligned blocks of memory, so you can get like super fast vectorized stuff going on.
Yes. Yeah, there's like there's a lot. Oh, I don't know if someone kissed Robots. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Don't add a question mark just to say something to us, guys.
Next questions from BD_. If we see pre-release issue that should be on the compatibility feature priority list, but isn't, what's the best way to bring that to your attention? I can just mention it on the issue. Right now, like I've been kind of focusing on just finishing a little fewer things, like that, like to actually bring it to feature parity, which is the Vive hand tracking. And I once I'm kind of done with that, I'm actually gonna like go through all the issues, because I haven't really sifted through the issues and been like categorized them. So like some of them like might be just literally waiting. Like once I'm done with that, like I need to do a pass over the issues and see like, okay, like this is something needs to address, this something needs to be addressed, because right now the issues like they turn like into a little bit of noise that I have to kind of sort through. Because like there's like a number of issues where I need to kind of figure out like, is this the same issue or is this a different issue? Is this like actually pre-release issue? Like, is this something, I haven't had time to like, sort it through yet. Because for some of the earlier things, there was some stuff where there was some stuff like where essentially the same bug and it manifests a number of different ways. So I would like fix it, and then I would be like, okay, all of these bugs is actually the same bug. So like by fixing that bug, like there's like 5 or 6 issues like closed. And I'm pretty sure there's like a number of ones currently which is like technically the same bug. And I kind of need to like sort it through and figure it out. But right now the focus is like I just wanted to get like the last remaining bits of feature parity out of the way, so we have like everything in place, and let's just focus on bug fixing. Bug fixing and compatibility. Regular subscriptions. Oh, Angel was asking, maybe have some music in the background. Is definitely quiet. I don't think there's music in here, unfortunately.
I don't think I can pull in any music that won't get us copyright stricken.
Yeah, I don't have anything at hand, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Maybe like worse with ambience. Next question's from Qualitorium. Has there been considered to a very explicitly opt-in client telemetry for folks who are okay with the idea contributing continuous test data, especially for pre-releases? Is there potential and useful data that could be generated from a system like that, or would it be too much noise? It kind of depends what data. For pre-release, that's usually more like, bug reports, because we need information like, what have you been doing? Like, what's caused the crash? We need to gather like, logs and so on. So like people usually just submit that. And having like your system, for telemetry that takes time to implement. Like we need, tooling, we need like other stuff. So just using the existing system is kind of simpler right now. For normal builds, I feel like it's been one of the things we've kind of considered, but like one of the problems is like the very explicitly opt-in, like it sort of like creates a lot of bias towards, because like most people will probably not turn it on, and usually for such systems to get really benefit from them, you want them to be like opt out. And if we were to do that, we probably present the users, be like, okay, we're introducing this system. By default, it's on. Do you want to turn it off? Like this is the time. So if the user is new, or even if the user is existing, like they will be presented like with the option to opt out of it. But we probably have it like on by default, because we want more people to get the data, to get really benefit from that. But like we haven't like really made any decision to actually implement something like that. And like if we're like if we're doing something like that, we will like we'll talk about it first as well. Like it's not gonna be like, it'll not be like one of those things that's just it's just suddenly gonna appear out of nowhere.
Yeah, we'd be very transparent with like what data we're collecting and why as well. Like we're not just gonna be like, oh, turn on the spooky telemetry option, guys. We'll tell you what we need to what data we collect and what we're gonna use it for.
Yeah. But right now, like, there's no specific plans. It's just kind of general thoughts. Oh my god, we got all the subscriptions now.
Oh my gosh.
Yamidef was asking, are Twitch commands still a thing? I just tried a few of them, but they seem to do nothing. I don't think they're included on this version of Twitch Chat Pro. Let me actually see if there's I don't know if this has any commands on it. I think it's like modules.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, there's no modules on this one.
To be honest, I don't really care for the Twitch commands anyways. I don't want my head to be lit on fire every 2 seconds.
But they care about it. We need
they care about it. Well,
they subscribe so much, we need to suffer for their amusement.
Well, you know what? There's so much confetti. Wow. Listen, that's... You want something to happen, you gotta pay for it.
But they are paid for it. Oh my god. for this I will there we go.
What? Are you like hooking me in? There we go. Yeah.
No, and I'm trying to push into the water.
Why?
For their amusement. There we go.
No. How dare you? I'm gonna fucking push you in the water, pal.
They paid for it.
Put you in the water, bucko.
We got Twitch commands at home. Actually, it'd be fun.
All the light.
Oh no. It actually looks kind of cool.
No more light. Whoa.
No more light. It's negative light.
Yeah, it's negative light.
That does look kind of cool. That's for funky. Actually, it'd be kind of funny is like make a stream where like it's like Twitch commands, but like we have to do them manually. Like none of them are implemented. Literally, like they will say something, and then we have to interpret what that command would do, and then just like find a way to do it in real time.
Oh yeah, like it's just like a big queue of stuff that we have to sift through.
Yeah, no, they would have like be like Twitch command, but it's human.
Yes.
We just do it like you do command something, and we have to figure out like what happens.
Yeah, it's like a 2-word camel case like command that we gotta interpret.
Yes. We have to figure out what happens. It'll be like one of those like creator jam kind of things, like loose interpretation of things. Actually, be kind of fun. But it I hope that answers the question. Oh my god, thank you. Oh yeah, we got Crash Resonite. Actually, the funny thing for this one, once the splitting is done, I will implement the way for the render to crash. We could do like a live demonstration. I'm probably actually gonna add like a button like crash render, so you can like crash it like intentionally just to test the mechanism. So we'll be like you do this, we'll be like okay, crashing the render, and then it reboots and we're back.
Pushing the test button on the GFCI circuit.
You joke, but this might be a thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add a crash button.
Froox goes on a walk and touches grass.
Oh my god. So there's just so many. Let me go manual just so you can see like all the crazy subsections. Thank you. Summer Sons, there's Cheers, there's so many. And you know what? I'm not even gonna scroll through. There's so many. Look at that.
Oh gosh.
So many. Oh boy, there's a lot. We might need to start speedrunning to work the questions. There's so many. Question speedrun. How much time we have?
Yeah.
We have 40 minutes, so strap in. This has internally been a stream. So Nukikun tells about the world you're in. I saw some colorful garden stuff. Spobal reasked it one. Nukikun's asking, SDL is one of the most stable, efficient, effective libraries after I learned it. I saw John Carmack use it for Quake 4. Did you know John Carmack uses SDL? Does that inspire confidence in you as well? Yes, it does. Next question. Ace on Twitch. I'm not sure if Sire will also work on switching to SDL for clipboard, but do you guys think switching to it will be as complex as switching SDL for Outer IO? No, it will not.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
It's clipboard's relatively simple. We got Cheers. There's another question. How much?
Yeah.
Yumi Deftil, how much of Resonite income from Twitch subscriptions? A lot more now than before this.
Yeah, probably a measurable percentage more now.
Probably a measurable percentage. You have to like ask Bob during the business office hours at our recap streams. He crunches all the numbers on that. Check the Fox Otter. What does Twitch even do if everyone watching is already sub and someone gives subs? I think they just stack.
You gotta find out.
We probably found out by this time. There's an example, but if someone made a sub visual that a sub sandwich that grows longer in game every sub, do it. What? Froox and Dark Froox, when are we going bird up? What's supposed to be the bird thing?
I mean,
we already had like a long one on the bird, so skipping that. Oh my god, Angel Boy VR. I'm scared to answer this one. How many subscriptions would we need to give to make you both wear bird avatars? 100? I don't know. I don't know how much they actually are.
I was gonna say like 1,000.
It feels too much.
I don't know, Froox. Like there's already, we could maybe almost even count 100 this stream. So.
Oh. 200? but it's from one person. I mean, it depends. Like, is it like? Oh, is it a we? So it was. How many subscriptions was this? We're already over 100. Okay.
Oh boy.
188 subs from this stream. I convert for bird up. I guess we're doing the next one as birds.
Oh boy. Thanks, Froox.
This has happened. I guess I should have asked first how many this was. will be Bird's the next one. I don't even have a Bird avatar. Next question from Nokikun. Messing with lighting effects on Jupiter Station lately. Do you have any thoughts on making lighting look better without overwhelming the GPU? I have a lot of long strip lights that I'm having to figure out ways to do direction lighting for. I'm generally with lights like limit their range. Like you can have lots of lights if they don't have like too much range, because what if like think about whenever you have whenever you have light in the scene. Let me see, where's I need a brush. Tools. Brushes, and then we have geometry line brushes. So imagine imagine we have a light, and this is the range of the light. If you have like lots of lights that have like a lot of range, there's gonna be a lot of overlap between them. So for all the overlapping areas, this gets very, very expensive. Versus if you make their ranges smaller so they don't overlap as much, that's going to be a lot cheaper. Because what matters with lights with different lighting is how much screen area does the range cover, and if there's overlap, that also like hurts a lot. The other thing is like if you have a lot of transparent stuff or non-PBR stuff, you want to limit amount of lights near them, because essentially it causes the geometry to be re-rendered. You can also reduce the geometry amount, which is also going to make it cheaper.
Yeah, a lot of like lighting optimizations will also come with like light making and stuff in the future.
Yeah, there's a tool, like you can bake them, like if you can. Oh my god, can we get to level 69? Nice. Okay, we are go for stream, crash Froox with subs. I mean, you can try. I don't think you will, but you can try. Oh my god, it's just a lot more. Nokikun's asking, what do you think of the statement, the Resonite is only as optimized as the world you're running? World builders can do a few simple tricks to make their worlds run faster, especially with new spatial variables. I don't think it's that black and white. Optimization is always like a combination. Like, yes, the optimization of the content matters, but the other part is, how optimized the engine itself is, because that, this can add a lot of overhead for things that you might need to use. And also, what matters, what matters a lot is as well, like, what tools does the engine provide you to optimize your content with. So, like, I think both of these matter. Like, it's a lot more nuanced than, one or the other. It's also like, with a world, you can have a very light world that has very low overhead, but then like, have people join in. Their avatars, they're gonna have like impact. And there's like, certain amount, like, where you cannot really optimize it any further without like, reducing functionality. Like say, when you switch, from full body avatar to IK avatar, like full body avatar with IK to like, very simple avatar, that can help performance, but also you lost functionality. You lost, like your full avatar. So it's, if we like improve that, like we lower the cost of things, and that lets you preserve functionality while having better performance. So it's performance is a lot more kind of complicated, and I think that's that statement is like too black and white. Like either way, it's a little bit too reductive to be like it's the user content like thing or it's the engine thing. Most cases, like it's both. It's combination. Oh my god, there's so many. Ace on Twitch, not sure if I should ask a question, new Froox, but I already asked Aegis in the Artemis office hours, and he told me that you came up with what they are. What inspired you to make the designs for the 2021-2023 yearly batches? So the yearly batches, like they were kind of like, I like to, whenever I work on something, I would do these like, really reviews, and I would like to like, give them a theme, give things like a story, on what happened that year. So it kind of started with a spark, where like there was initial, like when things kind of got like, released, like there was like the initial community spark that started like, growing things. Because I remember like with my work, like a lot of the times, like we would not have like too many like users, and then like few users would come in and they would actually be so excited they would start like bringing more users, start making things, and that was kind of that initial spark. And then like the next year, that spark turned into more of a flame because more people came in, more people started making things started feeling more alive, and and then the next year after that it became like that flame became a bonfire because a lot more people came in, they started like putting stuff into the platform, and they started like feeding the flame and making it bigger, and warmer for everyone. So, like it's sort of like like giving sort of like a story to like the growth of like Froox engine. Gidenusk is asking, there might be issues in Vive controller bindings in the release. Should I make issue for this? Yes, if there's not issue already, please make one. Yummy DevTool, best Pokemon and why is it Weevil? I don't know. I'm not that familiar with Pokemon.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, I would say like why not Ditto? Like it's literally like it can be any Pokemon. It's all of them. Slicer Record Repo. I'm
Lethal
not
Company,
sure which.
Lethal Company.
Yeah, there was the okay. Yeah. Lethal Company. Grand UK is asking. Currently, there's a component that enables disabling of custom nameplates per user based on settings. Could it be possible to add similar component for when user is mutual blocked to do things like calling systems don't leak information about mutual blocked users?
Yeah, but then you leak information about who has who blocked because now you have a means to query it from other people by spoofing impulses, and I don't think we want to do that.
Yeah, like I don't fully understand. It seems like it's saying like that it kind of leaks the information.
Yeah,
I don't quite understand what he's asking. Like I feel that it should be like more of a GitHub issue because there feels like a lot of technical stuff involved.
It's because some calling systems like replicate like the user voice outside of the user's hierarchy, so you can still hear them even though they're blocked or whatever.
I feel that should be a GitHub issue. Like, give us the technical details on that one. That's like not enough to like really do on.
Yeah, we don't want to like add another mechanism to retrieve information about who has who blocked, though. I don't think.
Greg, what do you think about people making custom runners for Resonite? We already got this question earlier. Fallared is asking, how do you envision the mentor team as a sort of creative core for when there's an eventually algos with influxes of new users as they carrying creative spark that can inspire others? I feel like the mentor team is like good for like passing on the kind of spirit of the platform, because what we find is a lot of people who come to the platform they appreciate like the helpfulness of the users, and a lot of them like become mentors as well because they kind of want to pay it forward, and they kind of inspired by that kindness and that like welcomingness of the users. So I do think like this is also a good question to ask in the moderation office hours, because the moderation team is the one running the mentor program. So Vier and Kadate and Gil I can give you like good answer on this one as well. Show this one. Next question is from Qualitorium. Imagine it's difficult to maintain a reasonable work-life balance with a project as important and expansive as Resonite. Do you have any self-care rules you try to follow to help yourself disconnect at the end of the week? I mean, one of the rules was like like trying to take like weekends off at least. But like I've kind of not been able to do that. I've been kind of working through weekends for past I don't know how long. Because of like things that kind of become deadlines, so it's gonna it gets difficult at times, especially when like things end up like turning into like a crunch. I was pretty much it, like at least taking weekends, taking like some time off, like doing like other stuff. It's can also be difficult in games sometimes because people will like bring up like work stuff, so it's kind of hard to escape it. So like a bunch of the worlds, like they have like rules where it's like this is no work zone, don't bring things, but it's still like it is very difficult because like one of the things that like we kind of kept like enforcing a lot is people will sometimes like be like, they have an issue, and we'll just tell them, please go to GitHub. That needs to be a GitHub issue. Or they would be like, I just want to DM you. I just want to hop on a call, and it's like, it is a boundary that like we kind of have to keep like defending over and over. And even now, I still get like people like who just DM me logs, and I'll have to be like, please, that needs to be a GitHub issue. Otherwise, like it just becomes it becomes unmanageable. And it's like, I feel like that's like what they want, like being kind of like, we've gotten like best at like maintaining, making sure like things don't actually go through like, DMs and stuff like that. Oops. So like, there's like one boundary like I'm pretty strict about, where, just because like on GitHub, like it's nicer, like we can kind of deal with it like when we have time to deal with it. Switch to the work mode, and also gives like info, and doesn't, I would like end up like with having tons of like messages, because I'm still kind of do, but like I would have like tons of them because they're like bug reports, and if I click on it, I either have to like deal with it like immediately, or mark it as unread, so like I forget, like so I remember to like look at it later, but then I don't know, like I forget this person unread message is thing, and this person other message is a thing I need to respond to, and it becomes difficult.
Yeah, please do not send us bug reports and logs and DMs or anything like that. It is just, we don't have the time to help you personally. Just put it on the GitHub, please.
It's one of those things like where I know like some people don't want to like use the GitHub for like one reason or another, but like that is what we have, and like we just don't have the capacity to like deal with it through DMs. Like it's just it's unmanageable, unfortunately. So that's kind of why we need to like be pretty strict about that. Let's see. I don't know this. Perfection Flux crash render to hot swap to a different one. I don't think that we would like implement something like that. Like, I mean, I don't think we would like be swapping renders like that. But like, I mean, technically I could do that. But like, once we do switch render, we will probably not have like two renders that we maintain. We'll just swap to one. So while technically you could implement something like that, like we're not gonna spend time on that.
Yeah, it is technologically possible for you to do it though.
But does it make sense to do?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Is it worth our time? That's usually the question.
Is it worth their time?
I really want to do it for fun. Make a mod. So,
yes, I mean,
1 tier subs at $5. That's $590 in subs alone. Oh my god! Thank you so much again.
God damn.
That's a lot, especially just for a silly stream like this. U1F98A, I wonder how much Froox engine is Theseus, ship of Theseus, like a lot of the core architecture code that survived for years, or did some recently refactored? If how did it affect development either way? Yeah, there's there's a good chunk. Like there's like stuff that's like, ancient.
There's like I literally was looking in the audio system and I see like the Git blame that's like Frooxius 5 years ago.
Yeah, there's even older stuff. Like there's like pieces that are like gonna be like over 10 years old because they kind of come from like super early projects, and some of them like replaced, some of them like like I can tell you like huge chunks got replaced. Like like I went through like the GitHub tool that kind of checks how much has been replaced, and like there's been more lines of code deleted from Froox engine that like than there currently is in there. But this is a lot because it's literally like it's in the range of like it's in the range of like hundreds of thousands. So yeah, I mean, generally like I would design like things to be like very kind of modular, so it's kind of like easy to like replace systems. And I've kind of like I've been doing that like I don't even know how long, like since like like sometime I was like in high school, like would be like making like it was actually like one of the kind of like early kind of concepts. Like I was like making an engine called like Sired, and it's kind of like, developed eventually, like, in ways like the Froox engine. So there's also like, conceptual aspects too. So there's like a lot of this is like, like it's sort of like a culmination of like a lot of my kind of work, and a lot of it like a lot of it kind of goes like far, like, super long. And some of it, like, is like has been kind of changed quite a bit, but it's kind of kind of developed and changed over time. Some bits have been completely made, like, from have been replaced by like completely different systems. Some are like, brand new, some are kind of like changed. So it's like it's a mix of all of that.
Yep.
But it's all like, is made to kind of like, work together like heavily.
You can still go back to some of the old like worlds where you're prototyping our first scripting engine and they still work.
Yeah.
That just randomly popped in my head.
Next question. This actually we kind of speed through. We have 20 minutes left still. Next question is from Kai Volps. Would you guys do something like an issue page where it turns what the user type into page, auto creates issue? I feel like that might help with some people not wanting to create a GitHub account. So what we wanted to do is like, have it integrated in games. So like, we can just go on a tab and, fill the issue there, and would like, that we kind of proxy it to GitHub. So that's something we want to do at some point. It's just, we can do it like once we have bandwidth for it, and right now we don't have the bandwidth to it, because whatever we implement, it needs to come at a cost of something else. Like when it becomes priority, it means something else didn't become a priority, and so sometimes like it's a question is like, it is a question, like should, so like, say if the decision is like, should we improve the UI, or should we implement like in-game bug reporting? Which one of those two, like, would you pick? Would you pick UI? Okay, we do UI then. And then it's question, should we like rework the IK, or should we implement in-game bug reporting? And again, question, which one of those two do you think is more important? And say like, it's IK, okay, we do the IK. And then like say, should we do Protoflex collections, or should we do, in-game bug reporting? And again, say you want bug reporting more, you want collections more, we do that one. And that's kind of like, how things can happen, where something we want to do, but like it never kind of goes to that level where it's more important than the alternatives. And essentially for something to kind of get implemented, it needs to like, rise above that level where the answer to that question, should this be implemented or should this other thing be implemented, it rises above that. So that kind of makes like a lot of these things kind of more complicated. And usually like when something like, say GitHub, is hard to prioritize because we have something that already works, and we already like, we already have like more issues there that we can like really handle. So like that kind of like decreases some of the kind of pressure, because like, we need to also consider like, the long-term impact of it, and we have like in-game bug reporting. We need to consider what's it gonna do to the quality of the reports. Is it gonna require more time from us to spend like, sifting through the bug reports? And that impacts, things, and it impacts our thinking on it. So it is a tricky issue. And for us, like I would say, quality of the issue matters a lot, because we're a small team, and the more time, like, the less time we can spend like going through the issues and trying to understand the issues and trying to gather all the information we need on the issues, the more time we can spend developing. So like, generally like the push is, towards things which like make us, fix more bugs, implement more features. And question is, will in-game bug reporting help us, fix more bugs and implement more features? Or is it going to be neutral, or is it going to be detrimental to that? And those are, kind of considerations that like go into this. A random meatball is asking, what programming languages do you enjoy tinkering with the most? I'm C#. I just
What do you
use it a lot. Yeah. It's funny because I used to like do like C and C++ a lot, and then I found C#. And I've wrote like a lot of stuff. Like I've wrote like compilers and emulators and like C++ and like games, and there was like C#. I was like, oh, okay, and then like made some projects in it, and then now I went back to C++, and I'm like, I don't want to deal with C++. It's like too painful, like it's too tedious. So if I have to, like like I'll do things in it, but it's just more work. I kind of want to play more with Rust, but I don't have like time.
Yeah, Rust is all right. I hear Zig is pretty good too. That's like meant to be a replacement for C in particular.
Yeah. I did like interested tinkering like some of like the functional programming languages. I did like play with Lisp like a while back. I kind of been like thinking about Haskell, but it's also like one of those languages that's like it's more like for specific kind of fields. But just change your thinking a little bit, that's kind of
about F#.
Yeah, F# I've been kind of looking at it too, but I never like the problem I have is like it's kind of just messing with it, but I don't have anything serious to write in it, which kind of like makes it harder. So I mostly just play with the syntax and I kind of forget about it because I don't have like to really get a language. I need to like actually write a project in it, and it takes a while. And it's also like I have to have justification. Why would I use this language for this project? And oftentimes like some other languages don't really offer substantial reason for that. So it's kind of hard. I can clear these out, and then Kai Volps is asking, one thing I just thought of, since you guys and me too use C# a lot, when you get the WebAssembly thing implemented, would you do official SDKs for that? Like, here's an example project for C#. Yes, yeah, like I would definitely want us to have like SDKs. We provide like some samples. This is how you write things. We probably like do like some of the core stuff. Like there's actually a good reason. That is like one of the things like where like you might be good excuse to use Rust and be like, okay, here's a Rust example. This is how you make like a module in WebAssembly. Probably do like C++1, 2. And then like maybe have like your community kind of handle like bindings for like other languages, because there's a cool thing about WebAssembly is like we don't constrain it to just one particle language. You can just bring whatever language you want, like you can compile to WebAssembly, make bindings, and now people can use more languages.
Let's use Visual C++.
Oh.
It's C++ that compiles to .NET.
I know, I've worked with it before. Unfortunately. Not super much, but I've worked with it. It's weird. Like, it's one of those things where I'm like, how does this even exist? Next question from Kirster Braids. Have you played with Elixir? It's my favorite functional language, and I'm the annoying Rust type, but for it, I love it. I haven't played with it one now.
Yeah,
I haven't really had much time.
I don't know what Elixir even looks like.
I've heard of it, but like I just never played with it. Next question is from Bravo Jules Bear. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name right. Are there block code assistants? I know I'm getting that term wrong. On the question about earlier from time management, I like easy tools to make textures and light sources have as much as like without doing manual work.
I have no idea what you mean by block code assistant and how that relates to lighting and textures.
Yeah, we might need to rephrase that one, unfortunately. I don't quite understand. I'm sorry.
If you're talking about like an LLM to like help us, hard no on that. I useless for programming.
Yeah, I don't really know like what you mean, unfortunately. Maybe DevTools asking, how's your mood now? Thirsty. I need some water. My throat is starting to hurt. Navy 3001 is asking, oh my god. More. Thank you. Yeah, we definitely have to be birds for the next one.
Yeah.
We'll have to. We'll have to procure bird avatar. I forget it was. Oh, right. Is the team going to look for Froox in his house for forced vacation after splitting? I'm kind of like, I don't get out much. I mean, like, I might as well be already. Actually, I had to get new shoes because, like a week ago, a while back, like I had like somebody like visiting like from the US, and I like showed him like around Prague and like around, and we walked a lot, like we're like 16 kilometers, about 10 miles every day. And my shoes, I had my like yellow shoes for like over 10 years now, and like the back of them, like it started just falling apart, disintegrating. So I was like, I guess I'll need to like start looking into new shoes. And then I had to go, like when I was back home, I went to pick up a package, and it's just like, 10-minute walk, maybe 15 minutes tops. And on the way back, like my heel is like hurting a lot, like hurting really, really bad. And I get back home and I look at it and it's like all bloody. Like, it's like it started like, it just kind of got like, oh my god, thank you. And it's like, started to get like, it just destroyed it. So I was like, okay, I'm ordering new shoes now. So I found like shoes like they were kind of like, I wanted like yellow ones again, but I found like ones that were like too expensive. So I ended up like getting ones that are more orange, but they still kind of look cool. And there was like a big discount on them, especially for my size. So I had to like get new ones. But I was like, for a bit, I was like, I can't even go out because like, well, I have like other shoes, but they're like very hard, like they're more like heavy boots, like for like winter and such. But I was like, like, okay, I can like, I was like, I had like another thing that I had to like go to like pick up, and I was like, okay, like this is gonna be tricky with those. But now I have new shoes, and I need to like, now I can go like walk around more. Next question's from Amy Defsul. Will we see Avali Syro next stream?
No, because Avali are not actually technically birds. They're a type of alien raptor. So, disqualified, pal.
That counts. I mean, like, I was gonna say, it doesn't have to be Avali.
It's also, I don't want to be in Avali.
Oh, yeah, Avali either. We'll have to figure something out. Actually, I just got an idea.
Uh-oh, okay, yep.
I'll tell you after the stream ends.
I'm gonna die now.
No, you don't have to die. The next Avali Syro.
No.
No, it would be so weird. What if they gave 1,000 subscriptions?
I want 5,000 subscriptions.
5,000. This can keep increasing the price. Would you? So for 5,000 subscriptions, would you turn into an next Avali?
Yes, I would wear it for the stream.
Angel Bob will make proper next Avali avatar for you, Sarah. So you even get like offer here.
Well, I mean, if we get 5,000 subscriptions as well as that, then sure.
Also, why Shinzu, I forget our birds categorized as Droma. I don't even know what that word is, so I don't know.
Dromaeosaurs.
Dominosaurus, I don't know. No, like we're kind of getting towards the end of the stream. Ace on Twitch. Oh, yeah. Ace on Twitch 17 is asking, any struggles with implementing Vive and tracking so far? Yes. It's weird. So the driver is actually kind of weird because like it needs like the way like I implemented originally is like it needs access to some of the input system to find like references, but I'm trying to figure out like why is that needed, and it kind of doesn't fit nicely into the model. So I was like, how am I gonna proxy this? I don't want to like make proxying very specific for this driver. Maybe I'll have to. So I was like thinking, can I just bring the Vive driver to Froox engine and just handle it there. So I started doing that, but I was like, wait, it seems... Oh my god. Thank you. That's this anonymous gifter. Oh my god. Thank you.
So many.
There's so many. How many? I don't know how many it is. Oh my god, thank you.
Thank you so much.
One step closer to Sierra Valley.
Yep.
But yeah, so I started like porting it to Froox engine. I was like, oh wait, this is dependent on like too much on Unity. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna proxy it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna proxy it. But I'm like, oh, this is like weird. Maybe like, or maybe actually I don't need these Unity bits. So I could just write it more directly against the API and just get rid of all the Unity bits. So now I'm like, and I'm trying to figure out which is gonna be the path of least resistance, and I'm trying to like decipher like why is this weird. Because like it kind of like needs like tracking references for things, and needs to transform differently on like which type like finger segment it is. Oh my god, thank you. So yeah, it's I was thinking it's gonna be simpler, but like that one's and like it's weird, and like I'm trying to still figure out like what's the best pathway for that. So yeah, I wish like it's actually like one of the annoying bits is like sometimes like they will give you SDK for these things, but it's like Unity SDK, and it's just written like to use a bunch of Unity stuff, and it's like I wish they just had like a library that's just a library that just gives you the data that's like agnostic to whatever engine you want to use it in. Some of them like we kind of like end up like just like pushing away all the Unity bits, so that kind of works, but with this one, I'll have to like still figure it out if it works or not. So we'll see. It's definitely a lot more struggle than I was hoping it to be. And it has to, because like that's, I think that's literally the last thing that's needed for like feature parity in terms of actual features. Thank you, Bravo Jules Bear.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Oh my god, there's so many. What do we even do with this many?
I don't know.
I don't know either. We'll have to be birds of some kind for the next one.
Yeah, we're gonna have to be birds.
We'll have to be birds.
Are you gonna be a cockatiel?
A what?
A cockatiel?
Forget which one it is. This is like the parrot.
It's like the white parrot with like the yellow plume.
Oh yeah. I don't know. We'll have to figure something out.
Because you can be really loud and annoying.
What? Oh. Oh my god. Bravo Jules Bear, can you become multiple macros that have a hive mind? We become are they like the Borg of the birds?
We are bird.
We are bird. Resistance is futile. We got 2.5 minutes left, so I don't think we have like any. There's like short questions we can still do, but probably gonna like wrap the stream. I need to get some water too.
I would say we're probably done at this point for the most part.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you. What? Yes, but it triples his.
It quintuples mine.
Froox it for something else, but bread is good. I actually got fresh bread. I also got like fresh breastings, and they're delicious.
Yeah, European bread is better than American bread too.
Yeah. You can tell by the fact that like it'll become moldy after 3 days.
It doesn't taste like chemicals.
Yeah. Anyway, anyway, thank you very much, for watching, and thank you so much for so many subs. Like that's like I still like kind of flabbergasted, like with like that many happening. Like
yeah.
Thank you very much. That helps us like quite a bit, and it's very sweet.
Yeah, thank you guys sincerely.
And thank you for for all questions. Thank you for just being on the platform, making cool things on here and making this place kind of come alive. Thank you everyone for helping with the pre-release testing too, because catching all the bugs and testing everything, that kind of helps a lot too. Get things get it closer to the finish line. And for those also support on Patreon and Stripe, thank you as well. If you are supporting on Patreon, we recommend switching to Stripe because we get about 10% more from the same amount of money, and that helps us as well. So if you're still on Patreon, please consider switching over to the Stripe on the same tier or whatever tier, either way. But we get more out of we get more that way. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah, see you around, guys.
Possibly, with maybe I think at that point we might be running on the splitting build harder. So
yeah, here's hoping that the splitting is nigh.
We'll see how this week goes. The upcoming week.
Yes.
So thank you very much. And actually, let's see if there's anyone to raid, because there might be interesting channels. We don't want to if you're streaming Resonite, this is a perfect time, because you're gonna get people. Looks like it might be just Creator Jam. It's unfortunately just Creator Jam. But also their Creator Jam's excellent, because they've been running for over 5 or 6 years now. Every weekend, hosting creative building events. So they're even worth a watch, and even more worth a visit. So thank you again, everyone. Thank you for so many subs. And say hello to Medra for us. So I'm gonna do raid Creator Jam. I'm gonna get it ready. And thank you. And we should be ready and now. So thanks again, and say hello to Medra. Why?
Bye.
Did I click it or did I miss? Oh, there we go.
We're good.
And I'm gonna stop the stream.